This is Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the Akim that's out there teaching and preaching in truth and in sincerity. I'm the brother Bartholomew from the GMS Memphis camp, back with another quick lesson. And ultimately, I hope that this lesson is edifying to the elect. So the title of this lesson is Prepare for the Worst, prepare for famine, for death, for Jacob's trouble, for, the MOTB, matter of fact, let me get that in Jeremiah, then I'm going to get the definition. This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence, and that's what we need to be preparing for, preparing for, being hungry, no roof over your head, didn't the scriptures tell us to be as pilgrims in the earth, meaning we may be those men on a spiritual journey, moving about, being prudent, watching and being guided by the Lord in those tough times. But the preparation is now, What it say in matter of fact, let me get that. I think it's Sirach chapter 5. Sirach chapter 5, verse 7. 5. This is Sirach chapter 5, verse 7, where it says, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. That's the importance of preparing, because no man knoweth the day or the hour. The scriptures also tell us not to boast on the morrow. So the preparation is now, preparing for, like we preparing for a test, Matter of fact, let me get this in which I Googled. It says, hold on. It says preparation. Salaki. This I Googled the importance of preparation, and it says preparation is fundamental to achieving success, boosting confidence, and reducing stress by enabling proactive, strategic, and calm responses to challenges. If you prepare for a test, then when the test comes, you're gonna sit there calmly, confident, knowing that, hey, I prepared the best that I can, and that's the same way with going into this hour of temptation, the the strife and the war and the killing and stuff like that, preparing for those things. So when they come, you'll be better. You'll be more in your will to survive will be there, because you understand the end. What that also comes with preparation, understanding the end of a thing, which is Babylon the Great. This place is going to be destroyed. So with that being said, prepare yourself. So this is prepare in the blue letter. The Hebrew word for prepare is kawan, Kawan, and it just goes into being firm, to be stable, to be established, to be securely determined, being prepared, being steadfast. It's a lot of words. It's a lot of definition. It's a lot of meat with that word, because it's very important. You know what the scripture say. Matter of fact, let me get that. Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 25, where it says, "The ants are people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer," meaning they're preparing the a wise, just like the ants. It says they prepare their meat in the summer, meaning they're preparing for the winter. Not, they're preparing for the tough times before they come. That's what it means to prepare. That's what it means to prepare for the worst. You know, of course, you hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. You know, like the elder brother from Memphis camp, elder brother Nabar, always say, proper preparation prevents a poor performance, man. Along with faith, you know, properly preparing will prevent you from having a poor performance in the day of evil, man. You can't just walk into the day of evil, thinking that everything gonna be all right when the Lord is literally, um, it, has the doors of mercy open right now. What it's saying, Isaiah chapter 55 says, it says, "Seek the Lord while he may be found." Matter of fact, let me get that. This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6. It says, "Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near," because it's going to come a time where the Lord is going to close them doors of mercy, man. The Lord is being merciful at this point. So you got to prepare. You got to take advantage of this grace period that you have. Speaking to myself first and foremost, you got to make sure that you studying, make sure that you fasting, make sure that you praying every day. Matter of fact, let me get the definition of, I Googled it. What does it mean to spiritually prep? In the Google, I Googled, what does it mean? What does it mean to spiritually prep? Spiritual preparation involves cultivating inner strength, resilience, and connection to the divine, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, to handle life stresses and challenges, real life challenges like being hungry, being on the brink of starvation, feeling like you're gonna die of thirst, not having that, but still keeping the faith, keeping your faith strong. It also says key practices include daily prayer, studying scriptures, fostering a habit of worship, and staying watchful. Like the scripture saying, be vigilant. That goes into being watchful, man, being vigilant, being circumspect, which means to look it means to keep your head on a swivel. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 20, because, though we prepare for what's to come, which is, war, evil, and pestilence, though we prepare for those things, we understand that our only way to truly make it out of here is if the Lord have favor on you and the Lord chose you to make it out of this thing alive, But we don't know. We don't understand. We don't know that. Only the Lord knows that. So you got to prepare. Like, the only way you're going to make it is if you study, because the scriptures tell us that. The scriptures tell us to study to show thyself approved. The scriptures tell us to, that you err not knowing the scriptures, So it's very important that you do study, that you prep spiritually. You know what I'm saying? More important than prepping, canned goods and meat. That's more important. It's more important to store up spiritually. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 20. It says, "But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." So, yeah, that's the point of the lesson, is to prepare. Prepare for Jacob's trouble. The best way we know how, what? By getting into the scriptures, by fasting, by rehearsing the righteous acts, man, by being the best, by being as righteous as you possibly can be in this wicked kingdom, man. You know? So I hope that this lesson was edifying to the elect. Until the next time, shalom.